All got an idea which ones we like? So are you somebody that just keeps following the path? You'll get there one day. You're not sure if you'll even write a book, but you know you might like to write a book. You merely think about it. One day. How many people can relate to that? It's okay, it's okay. This is no trick question, it's just awareness. Maybe you want to be a diamond and you have a desire to start. You know what you want to write, but yet you still have no idea how you're going to bring that book together. I'll give you a hint. Pick up your pencil, find a piece of paper and a quiet spot, and just write. Just let it flow from you. Because the moment that you get into that creativity of writing, more things will come out, and some of it will be useless. But the bottom line is to just take the momentum and do it. Now, number 3. How many thought they might have been a diamond? A triangle, I should say. Not sure? Always looking for the next thing to do. It's kind of like the shiny object syndrome. You're laughing, so I'm suspecting that you...
I call it Dory syndrome, like from Finding Nemo,
Oh.
like Dory. Yeah.
I like that. And you keep running...
You can have that.
And you keep running out of ways to move forward because you find another one and you find another. Oh, look, there's just this over here. We've all been there. I've been there. But it takes a strong congruence to get alignment to what that end result is. So you kind of stay stuck. You don't necessarily move forward because you're over here and you're over here and you're over here and then you haven't actually done anything. It's all relevant for where you are and what's happening in life. So say to yourself, in this case I'm sharing with you that you can do it, I can do it. Make the commitment to yourself. Number 4, I love number 4. Because of the 7 points of the star, the 7 areas. No idea how to construct, how to lay out your book, what chapter headings to use, no real structure, yet the book inside of you keeps following, staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. We all have that feeling? Phew, that came to me a genius point last night. But yet you want to. You have this big inside you that you want to. But something keeps stopping you. Am I asking the right questions? Because it's the questions that we ask ourselves will take us to the next level. But can I get someone to help me? Can we all relate to those areas? It's all relevant. This one I love because many people are in this area. You keep doing what you've always done, keep getting what you've always gotten. Now when you get that in through your mindset and you get an understanding, wow, I'm doing the same thing I did 3 weeks ago, I'm doing the same something else I did some time ago. Oh, have I really moved forward? It's recognising that moment. Aha! Break it, stop it, cancel it, zip it. Because it's time to make a new decision. It's time to identify that you can do something completely different. So, are you ready to make a new decision? Or did you pick the right image that related to you? What about you, Ian?
Well, not quite sure. Somewhere between the star and the house. Yeah. And the house probably come because I sell waterproofing and that's...
Yep. Oh, gotcha. So there's no right or wrong. This is more about prompting the internal desire inside of you. Because we just want to bring that awareness, like, you can do this. Oh, here's an early tip. Make a decision. You're going to write a book, start planning your book launch. You'll see why down the track. Hang on, Elaine, you may have to move to this thing so that the clicker works. Oh, phew. So what we want to try and do is to help you escape from no book, frustration, earning desire, not being an author, pain, suffering. As the image shows, I've had enough. To being an author, to being published. There's a lot of steps on this rocky road, but it's achievable. Whoops. Nope, that's right. So this is our framework that we're going to follow. Section 1 will be, what is your topic, what is your story? And you won't have enough time today, but it's mere prompters. It's mere just bringing you that thought, and you'll take a little note that will identify, oh, okay, I can do that, I can do that. Section 2 will be about some of your content creation, your pain points. Because sometimes we have to look inside to get the pain to be able to share the message. Section 3 is R, edits. We'll explain what that is when we get there. And it's very, very relevant. Section 4, we're bringing your book to life. Now this list is long, your publishing requirements. This list can probably never end because there's this, that, over here, over there. Oh, what about that? There's many, many tangents to it. It's not a simple, okay, written a book, published. No, it's all the other stuff that goes on behind it as well that brings your book actually to life. And section 5 is a PDL. Promotion, distribution, launch your book. That's your final stage. So how can you achieve having your book written? Has anybody ever thought of having somebody else write their book for them? Have you?
I'm not going to write it, I can assure you.
Okay.
I can talk about it, but I couldn't write it.
Oh, you may have just said the magic word. Okay. And, most people don't necessarily feel that they can share that with somebody because they've got to get it out for themselves. It's a process that we go through. Trust me. I'll come up to that. So the first thing that you need to have as an idea of stepping forward is your big idea. And the idea is, yes, you want a book, but what's it about? What was the pain? What was the learning? What were some of the experiences? Whatever that idea is around that. And I'll use the concept of, as a 10-year-old, I knew I was going to win a gold medal. And then it turns out I'm a state champion. So I had that knowing there's something inside of you. Everybody's got that little bit of uniqueness within inside. So having your first concept is having that idea, the thought, something that really, really resonates with you. And then plotting it all out into structure. And I think I missed a slide. Yes. You plot it all out and it looks like a jigsaw puzzle. Because one piece here, one piece there, and we're going to try and match it all up. So we want to take your idea and your concept into structure. So we go from this, very sensible, to this. Okay. So we want to plot it into an element of that is conducive to what your story is. Looking at your highs, your lows, the lessons, things that really can share a message from your story. And we bring it into an element of plotting it into structure. So it's in a format. You can see how they greened it will fit it in and make it actually feel like it's going to get together and work very lightly. So we want to take you from here, which is, yeah. Yeah, this is the button. Hey, just,
Okay.
we know how to
We're learning
stop.
together.
Exactly. So we want to take you from here, build your timeline, look at your chapters, dot point your story, find your message, get your book title and cover, look at the publishing process to become an author. It's not just write, publish. It's about getting everything into structure. And I didn't put in there edits. That's another story on its own. So, The last part, of course, of that section is in the actual writing. And like I said before, pick up a pen and start writing. Find a place that's calming for you. Technology of the day allows you to just, oh, I've got a thought, hold that for later on. Create a little notepad in your system where you can actually just jot all those points down. Or find a relaxing spot and just unwind with it. It is just getting into the motion of it. Oh, Fruit Loops. No. Yeah, so ideas you thought, image of a time in your life. Really get congruent with that. Timeline, your chapters, your story plot, and your message to share. And of course, write brings it all into story with structure. So how many have an idea? You said you had something in the rumbling.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
So it's staying alive, staying alive. I know, Ian, you do, and we actually have an accomplished author here in Lydia. But I know you've got a second book on the go, haven't you? Yes. So if you've got the idea, how many have a plot around the idea? Okay, great start. And plotting by just putting down all those little dot points or things that come up that you want to include into the overall story. Will they be included? Definitely. Over a period of time they may not, because something else will come up as you write. How many have actually started to write or considered really starting to write? So you found a book, you've got something, great. What have you got?
I've got about 4 chapters.
Great. Perfect. So you're really on the way and it's just momentum to keep it all going. Or how many want to have their book written? Already done for them. So that,
English is not that much.
that's okay, I'll talk to you. You are capable of anything. You're amazing things that you are capable of. But it comes back to our mindset. It comes back to our belief in ourselves. Anything that you put your mind to, you can achieve. Oh. Please go. So your mindset is a key element. Already see yourself in your mind's eye as the published author. That's one of the key factors that will get you through. Visualization, what you want, how you want that to look. Is it red, blue, green, psychedelic, whatever. It could be dark and gloomy for all I know. It could be spooky. Whatever that is for you is right for you. And focus only on that end result, the end outcome. I'm holding my book, I'm at my book launch. All of those steps will become a part of your life if you take one step every day towards that end result. It's got to happen. And the same is with writing. I must write 30 minutes a day. Okay, I'll do 45 the next day. Okay, I'll do 30 the next day. Whatever that is for you, but do something every day. That helps you keep your mindset in progression and rolling forward. I'm sorry, but this is so catchy. I'd all like you now just to please close your eyes and listen to what I'm going to say to you. The power of visualization. Be very clear on what it is you want. Be very clear on who and what you attract into your life. Be it in your business life, your social life, or your personal life. Set an intention towards your end goal. Look towards what you want to achieve. The way you feel around that outcome is a key factor. Be in your perfect state in your physiology. Define your perfect day and know what that looks like. Then hold that in your focus. So you want to be the writer. Hold that vision in your mindset. Come back to the room. when you go into a thought of that calibre, you're actually helping the brainwaves to get into the right place. Oh, okay, so she wants to do something or he wants to do something in that area. Then you take another step and do the next thing towards that, as long as you take action steps. And that's why I say at the beginning, write your action points against whatever the comment was that you wrote. So here's a few facts and figures of the industry. It's only 3 slides, so I won't bore you too long. But as you can see there's been a book explosion over the last 8 years, an increase of 100,000 books. That's pretty significant. 55.5 million books equal 1.07 billion sold in Australia in 2007 alone. It's pretty significant. And the Australian market growth in the personal development is highest, up 8% in 2017, worth close to $40 million. Now that's pretty astounding when you think about the availability of what personal development is out there for everybody. It's very significant. So facts and figures for the market for Down Under. The book format changes 2008 to 2016. As you can see, paperback went down from 64 to 48. Cloth hard books 13 to 8% down. And why do you think that the cloth hard book went down? Digital has a big impact. CDs, CD-ROMs and DVDs, as you can see by the red arrow, it went up from 7 to 15%.
They're going down again now,
Are they?
though. I would suspect.
Oh, well, actually, yeah, I mean, that's only from 2016. Huge changes since then, correct. Pardon me. E-books went up, online resources and other digital formats.
So that would have increased.
Yeah, so from 4 to 23, and these, I could only get to 2016 information, so, you know, how long does it take to accumulate all of the statistics? And in any other format, I'm not quite sure what they refer to, be it comics, be it whatever, went down 4%. So it's an ever-evolving trend that's occurring, but at the same time, digital is starting to really take over. So in 2017, we had a population of 24.6 million for Australia. Yeah. Here are the stats here. 2016, 22,144 books published in Australia with a ISBN, which is the registered book number. That's in Australia alone. Pretty significant. 412 active publishers in 2017. Which was an increase of 5 times previous years. It's quite astounding, isn't it? And the book retail outlets is over 1,000. I think it's now over 1,200. So they keep popping up. So there's something in the industry that's causing it to be significant. And the Australian dollar of 486 million sales, 53.6 million books worth a reprint in retail. Quite a significant number. Who's still interested in writing a book? You know, you've got to understand sometimes that the stats behind it is also the encouragement, because you don't know if you're the lucky one that's got the magic mile. So, your book journey is not the red line. It cannot be the red line. How many people say, I'm going to write a book? Oh, hang on, there's all this other stuff I've got to do. It's the same as with everything in life. You cannot go from A to B instantly. But you can go from A to B by following the dotted path. But the first thing you must do is, it's the first step. And your first step is congratulations that you're here today. Because that tells me that you have an awareness and an understanding. How can I get this done? How many think the red line people, sorry, I'll say it again. How many people do you know that think the red line's the easy way? Basically, you're right, everybody. Oh, come on.
Am I in the way now?
No. Oh, phew. So, right. Oh, too far. So, who is Janice Muir?
My friend.
Sorry. What did you say, Olivia?
She's my friend.
Oh, God bless you, cotton socks. This image here, although it's not me, but that is what I did in the classroom as an 8-9-year-old. I had a knowing inside of me that I knew one day I was going to write a book. I knew how to write in the third person because the teacher said to me, "Why do you always write in the third person?" And I looked at the teacher saying, "What? I mean, how was I to know as an 8 or a 9-year-old what that even meant?" But every composition I put in was always in the third person. I was the donkey, the cow, the horse, the cat, the budgie, the galah. And I'd always see it from their perspective in. I followed National Velvet quite a bit as a child. So, you know, I was the horse while she was riding. Right? You know, I had the ability to write from that perspective. So I knew at that age, inside, I knew I was going to write one day. I'm going to be an author. I know what I'm going to write about. And life just moves on. I had the opportunity to be very good in sports. And I share this not to impress you, but to impress upon you that everything that you've achieved in your younger years is an indication of where you are right here, right now. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, state champion for 70 metres and 100 metres. 4th best in Australia for 400 metres, with only 4 seconds between first and fourth. You know, that's a pretty good achievement for a 10, 11, 12-year age bracket. But in that particular journey, in my teenage years, I wanted to go on to run in either the Munich or the Montreal Olympic Games. I'd been running against Raylene Boyle and I'd run within 6 inches of her. I knew I could do that. But our family had a gathering one particular Christmas, as you do with families, and we're talking about our aspirations for what we wanted to achieve in life. And I said, "Oh, I want to run in the Olympic Games." "What makes you think you're good enough?" You know what? I never ran again. But I was very...
The Dream Slayers.
Hey?
The Dream
Yeah,
Slayers.
yeah. I understand now, 50 years on, the impact that did, but we didn't know then. So be very mindful that all of what has happened is just part of our learning, part of our growth. It sets you on a slightly different path. So life went on, did what we had to do. I moved to Darwin, and my partner at the time, and we did a lot of fishing and travelling up in the top end. However, in 1997, there was a huge amount of change in his life, and we went through the journey of Alzheimer's dementia. And I'm in the middle of bringing that book together, so to share with me. That journey had me look at myself and where I was and what I was doing. How powerful is the mind to be able to take that next step forward? And he passed in 2002. 3 years later, 2005, I'm diagnosed with cervical cancer. Caught just in time. But I don't have a cervix anymore. They took practically everything from me because the inflammation of it all that was there. But the harrowing of the journey was 6 months later to be diagnosed with full-blown breast cancer. I had 3 months in one breast. The chances of saving it, pretty soon. So there was a lot of reflection for me to look inwards. There was a lot of reflection to understand not so much why was I on this journey, but the reasons how I got to be on this journey. Slight difference. I never said during the whole journey, "Oh, why me? Poor me," that kind of thing. I didn't see it as that. I saw, what's the lesson that I can learn from this? What can I take from this? How can I change this? Not an easy thing to do when you're spiralling down here. So, 2006 diagnosis, 2007 back at work, and then 2012 redundant. It was a kind of a cultural shock, being in public service for 35 years. So we just told, finish your job tomorrow. What? I mean, it wasn't as quick as that, but the process of it all. And what ended up happening was, about 30 years earlier, I had been working in the Northern Territory Public Service and we were doing upgrades for our superannuation. I made a decision 30 years earlier, I was going to retire at 55. Yeah, I know, easy, simple, yep, I'll retire at 55. I was 55 years and 17 days when redundancy occurred. They wanted to retire me 2 days before my 55th birthday. I negotiated with them, and it was to my advantage. And so be very, very careful of what you wish for. What you think is an indication of what could come, depending on how much pressure you put on it. I didn't realise that decision to do that would be so impacting at 55. Then it hit me. Oh dear, I remember thinking, okay, how powerful that was as a lesson for me. So I share that message on. So 2010 I started the actual writing experience. Started putting things down because of the journey from breast cancer as well and the loss of my partner with Alzheimer's, and I was trying to write it so that it was in a ghostwriter's perspective until I found somebody who said, I'm an editor, you write, I'll edit. Oh, okay, so then I had to take up the full practice to get into the writing, and I did that. The first book of The Wellness Key was published in 2012 and then rewritten again from 2013 to 2015. And I wrote the book out around 7 times before we actually started to gel and come together. I could probably add more to it now because more wiser. So, always be mindful that whilst you're looking at one book, there could also be a second book bubbling in the background as well that will come through because you've got to get the first lot out. Make sense? So in 2015 to 2017, I was pulled aside by my lovely mentor and said, we have to find your writing style. And that's when the Vision book came to life, A Vision to Win, which was about my journey as a 10-year-old. And through the book I take you through, as if you're speaking to spirit in a speech bubble, is what I was doing on the athletic track. So, the magic started to shine. But I had to do it 7 times to get rid of all of that other stuff before the magic started to shine. And I share that with you, is your first write won't be your last write, because it's ever evolving, you improve each time you write. In 2018, I went through a harrowing time and I lost both parents within a 6-month period. Now, for me, the learning was that on my father's deathbed, I learned about him being an entrepreneur. But he never shared any of those skills with me. He had just on 5 businesses. He never shared the possibility that you could do, consider this, until my own travelling backwards and forwards to Melbourne. I had my own aha moment. Wow, if I did this, and this, and hence I'm here today to be able to share that with you. So, the book writing services, I believe IAchieve speciality is helping upcoming want-to-be authors to get their book written. The process is in capturing your story and bringing it into a manuscript. Now you can do this also, and I can help you from a mentoring point of view to keep you accountable to get you to that point. I know the excitement of having a book released, having a book published. And my aim is to share this process with as many so that they feel their goal is being reached also. That's why the book writing service is where it is and what it is offering today. I have a 1-year testament, primarily because the gentleman that I'm doing this book for, he decided, well, he's going to go tripping overseas. But what he's doing overseas is going to complement what we've done already. So I'll let you read that for yourself. gentleman, he's a figures man, has no idea how to write a book, but has to write essays and everything for his assignments when he's been studying. But to bring it into a book, no idea whatsoever. And we had a hell of a lot of fun bringing it all into some kind of motion of getting it all done. Good experience. So in order to write the book you want to write, in the end you have to become the person you need to become to write that book. Right? And this is the mindset. This is in owning it. This is in wanting it. This is in, you know, doing the extra bit of information behind the scenes. Chasing whatever that is for you. Yeah. If you can get this and get that, walk away with something, you know, in connection with this, then your journey is starting. So what's your story? Anybody like to share just a small snippet of what they believe their story is?
Yeah, mine's going to be an autobiography, but I just had a thought when you were talking, and I want to actually talk about my big achievement. I went from being a total non-swimmer, absolute non-swimmer, to being a bronze surplus sailor
Brilliant. Brilliant. What a message.
in 6 months.
Yeah. Wow, that's even a bigger message. So congratulations to you from that. So yeah, excellent.
And,
So
you
you,
know, talk about overcoming pressure.
correct. So you can see just a small little thing has a big inspiration. Everybody went, oh, you know, in accolade for your achievement. Well done to you. Anybody else? Go on, Ian. Just give us a small snippet.
Small snippet. I'd probably be writing about how sport can relate to business
Yes.
and or marketing.
Yes. Perfect. Being able to bring the messages out throughout the book.
Yeah, to make it different to the current approach,
Yeah.
because they all talk about failure,
Totally.
and misstep is not failure.
Correct. Correct. No. No. So we all have some element of a story inside of us. Nobody is better, worse, off-putting, whatever. It's our journey. We have to be proud of that to take that next step forward. So section 1 framework is what is your story? What is your topic and what is your storybook title? So I'm going to give a couple of examples. Has anybody ever heard of Michael Crossland? In your little bits and pieces of your note